Thanks for staying with us here on Breakfast Central. The front pages is where we are going to next. We have the editor, you can call him chief publisher of the niche newspaper, the one who talks tough, and the one in whom we cannot wait to highlight his views on the current situation of things in Edo State, Pan-Nigeria.
One of the greatest analysts of all time.
Edo Pan, because that situation in Edo now has heated up the polity. Please let's put our hands together for Mr. Ikechukwu Amaechi.
Welcome to the program, as always. Thank you.
Great.
Joe, you ran away with Olive last week.
No, did we really?
I did not run away with him. Me, I was sick. Where we are?
You were absent for two different reasons.
Were we not here?
No,
the day Tolu stood in for.
Me, I was sick.
Okay, that's true. Was you and Tolu? I was watching.
From your hiding place.
It was just a daddy assignment I had to carry out.
Best in daddy.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's start with the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's see what we have there. The headline says, Nigeria economy expands, records 3.13% growth in Q1. A lot of people will take that as positive news. Speculators panic as $1.3 billion FPI inflows, market reforms, narrow exchange rate gap. Now, Obi's running mate, Dati offers to resolve Labour Party crisis. Late Alhaji Abdulaziz Aishakola Alao speaks, says Alhaji Isa Aishakola Alao. We also have over 250 billion naira UBE intervention fund unutilized by state governors. And Lagos to launch 500 billion naira agricultural initiative to end food shortage. Those are some of the headlines we have from the front page of the Tribune newspaper.
I think the Tribune is pretty much safe, except for one key story. Which, anyway, is up to you, Bing. I was just looking through.
Yeah, it's, I don't think, okay, the OB and the Dati resolving the Labour Party crisis. We saw him in a meeting with Mr. Julius Abure. He said he's trying to resolve the Labour Party crisis, and people were wondering, they thought he was part of the Nenedu Usman faction of the Labour Party. What do you make of this? And do you think he has the powers, or are the Labour Party gladiators willing to shit their swords now?
Well, according to what we have in the Bible, he said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall
inherit
the kingdom." Right?
Yes.
Okay. So if Dati has decided to be the peacemaker in the midst of all the crisis that is rocking Labour Party, fine, so be it. As long as he knows what he's doing, and also as long as the Julius Abure and others also want peace. You see, the crisis in the Labour Party is needless. Needless in the sense that for a party that achieved so much barely 2 years ago in the 2023 elections, and for them to have allowed themselves to fall into this mess that it is today, we are having the Nanadi Usman fashion, we are having the Julius Abure fashion, and people are insulting themselves. The only governor they have, the governor of Abia State, Soti, will talk and Julius Abure will insult him. I think it is unnecessary. Whether it is inability to manage na success, which is always the problem with political success here, I don't know. So if Dati has decided to play the role of the peacemaker, so be it.
Is it coming a bit too late now that there's a coalition and Mr. Peter Obi might likely move depending on the weather forecast, political weather forecast to the ADC.
The question is, first of all, whether he thinks Mr. Peter will be removed.
This is where the analyst comes out of you.
Look, Nabwenga, there are so many, there's so many political calculations now going on. I am not speaking. I'm speaking as someone who is sitting out here and, of course, observing the things that are going on there. P2B has not resigned from Labour Party. Don't forget, unlike Atiku, unlike Rotimi,
Unlike Dele Momodu.
Amaechi, unlike Dele Momodu, all these guys have resigned from their former political parties, and they are fully with ADC. P2B has not yet done that. I think that should be...
But he was seen in that coalition meeting.
He was there, but his presence, even that he was there also. So that should be instructive that, look, it's not about that P2B has not left the Labour Party.
Right.
Is he
going to move?
Is he going to move?
Yeah.
Is another issue. Is he keeping Labour Party as a fallback position? Because he has said...
It's almost like a gamble.
He has said that he will run in 2027. So he was emphatic about that. Some people are saying that ADC is a political vehicle being packaged for another Atiku run in 2027. So could this be a possibility that if it becomes obvious, as it happened in 2023, that ADC is all about Atiku's ambition, P2B could go back to Labour Party and run on the platform of the Labour Party? These are political calculations now going on there. But the recent meeting that Julius Habure had with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, should also send some signals to those who think that it might be Uhuru at the end of the day. But we'll wait to see how things pan out.
I think we should take a look at the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning.
Let's take a look at that.
All right.
The Punch newspaper there.
Electricity fallout. Genco's discos rage as states begin tariff cuts. Enugu Defense Power Bill / as Ondo Plateau, others join tariff cuts. Genco's threatened shutdown. Pension revolt. IG vows action after ex-police officers nationwide protest. Services sector fuels 3.13% economic growth. Gunmen shoot 2 Nigerians dead in South Africa. Aujele, Ogun government prepares for legal battle with Ifa Council. Nigeria now spends half its revenue on debt, according to the presidential panel. 2027, fresh Labour Party crisis as Obi rejects Dati Abure deal.
Different headers.
Yeah.
Different headers.
Where did this one happen?
Different interpretation.
National Assembly showdown.
It's newspapers. I mean, Mr. Amaechi is in the business.
Maybe
so
he
he
has called
understands what
Obi
is
to
going
ask.
on
Maybe
there.
he will help us.
Yeah, maybe.
National Assembly showdown. Natasha faces police blockade today. Today is the D-Day. Businesses expect rate cut as MPC reconvenes today. Maybe we'll start with Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. She's said, or she's meant to resume today. The Senate has said that the judgment of the court is not binding, but is merely advisory.
Everybody's playing game with this Natasha Akpabio imbroglio, and it is unnecessary. Again, in all this, I blame the judge. I blame the Nigerian judiciary. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the Nigerian judges have developed this penchant of giving judgments that are neither here nor there, that are...
It's almost like proverbs.
Yeah.
that are now open
Subject to
for...
interpretation.
Exactly. So that this person, even the Julius Abure thing we were talking about,
True.
don't forget that the Supreme Court also gave a judgment which those opposed to the Abure leadership of the Labour Party said was in their favor, which of course now gave rise to the Nenadi Osman leadership. Again, it has happened with the Natasha. The judge opened the leeway for different interpretations. So at the end of the day, people are scratching their heads to say, what was the judgment?
That leave you in a limbo.
Exactly. What is the judgment? I don't see the Senate allowing her access into the National Assembly today. Of course, that's going to open another door for unnecessary
Do you think
controversy.
they should have tried alternative dispute resolution mechanisms? But we'll get to that after this call from Clement, regionals from the food basket of the nation, Benue State. Good morning, Clement. Please go ahead and make your contribution.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Okay. You might have to call us back, Clement.
And please turn up the volume of your TV set or whatever device you're using to watch us from, so we can have a proper conversation. Yes.
Yes, I was saying, since the political battle lines have been drawn as Senate versus Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, and the court's interpretation is neither here nor there, and the general feeling is she won't be welcomed with open hands and represented with flowers and chocolates if she appears today. So shouldn't there be, there's been a few weeks and months have passed since this suspension. Should they not have explored alternative dispute resolution methods, back channel communications and all of that to allow peace reign, and also, most importantly, for the people of Kogi Central to have representation in the Senate?
Alternative dispute mechanism works well or better where there is goodwill. You will agree with me that in this case, they have allowed the problem to degenerate to such a level that nobody is prepared to take prisoners anymore. They want to kill. It has become an ego problem. They want to make sure that
settling scores
are settled in the most I don't know the right word to use here, but I don't see how they are going to settle this. The only way would have been the judge giving a declarative judgment and saying, look, this suspension, because it contravenes the time limit, therefore it is illegal, and Senator Natasha should go back to the Senate, in which case there will be no room for this ambiguity in interpretation of what the judge
because it's stated there.
Said. As it is now, the Senate is going to hang on to its own interpretation of what it terms the truth, whereas Natasha will also cling to her own truth in the judgment, and this cannot bring any amicable resolution of the crisis today and tomorrow.
Well, let's also look at the big story there on the front page of the Punch. Police is commercial only for VIPs. I know you've been following the police officers, the retired police officers.
Interesting banner there.
Yes, who came out in their numbers to protest poor salaries, not just that, especially after they've retired, their wages have been nothing to write home about. Pension revolt, that's what they call it. IG vows action after ex-police officers nationwide protest. What's your take on that? I don't know if you saw some of the footage, the videos as well, where they were complaining.
Joe, I know quite a bit about this pension issue. When Nigeria went for the contributory pension scheme, away from the defined benefits scheme that was in operation then. It was because of the idea that Nigeria cannot continue to feed or to carry the burden of pension. Therefore, the idea of the contributory pension scheme is that the worker contributes a percentage, 8%, then the government contributes 10% that is paid into every month. And then when you retire, it is from that amount that you are paid your pension. Now, the military did not come on board. When the police was brought on board, they complained. But in the wisdom of the government in power then, and that was President Olusegun Obasanjo, said that the police was, as an institution, was so strategic that they cannot afford to let them off the pension scheme. Fine. But the truth of the matter is that what the average policeman takes home today as pension is nothing to write home about. It is, nobody can argue that.
But this, from CP upwards, there seems to be a discrepancy there.
I'll come to that.
Have a better
I'll come to that.
package.
It's nothing to write home about. Now, but that is because historically, the salary of the policeman has been low. So, and I told you that this contributory pension scheme is a function of the salary that you earn. So where you don't earn well, your pension cannot increase. Now, about what you are talking about, the Nigerian Police Force pension, NPF pensions, agreed, and they wrote a memo on how this could be sorted out.
All right, we'll come to talk about this memo and how it can be sorted out. We have Adenle, who's been on the call for a while now. Good morning. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Good morning. I just want to give a very important something that the world has not noticed.
Okay.
We are reached the road. Capitalism, democracy gives back to all the things we have in wars, avarice, lack, and it throws up a lot of criminal parties. One of the things that give us military takeover, slavery, slave trade, criminal parties. And what we have in Nigeria, this amalgam, for everything to work, it must be true and honest. So our democracy, what I'm recommending, America will one day become a communist country. Britain will one day become a communist country. If Nigeria wants to survive, communism is the way. And that is why, look at China. Do you see anybody begging on the street in China? Do you see any war? Do you see anything? It's progress and progress. But when you give situations like what we have, the colonial mentality, the democracy, and the capitalism, it gives rise to fraud, bad government, legislators, stealing legislators, bad press. So I'm advising, for everything to work in society, we have to now look at communism. And why? Look at China.
Okay. All right.
That's just my contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Adine. Thanks for your contribution. Thank you. We appreciate it. We're going to go back to the points you were trying to make, Mr. Ikechukwu, looking at some of the there's a story here as well while you are also going to highlight,
Because he's not yet
while you
done with-
highlight that,
okay.
we'll wait for you to finish, then we also look at that story.
So, the MPF Pensions Limited, which is the CPS, solely licensed to take care of the
Police,
pension
scheme
scheme
of police.
of the police. They made some recommendations to the government some years back, which, if it had been implemented, would have assuaged this issue of low pension being paid to policemen. And that is where you came in. And one of the first recommendations was that any policeman, I think from the rank of AIG, which is equivalent of a permanent secretary, should retire with his full salary. That was adopted. But for the rank and file, they also recommended a 300% now payment of their whatever, which, if it had been adopted, could have upped whatever they take home
As gratuity.
as a gratuity. That has not been adopted up to tomorrow. The idea of exiting the pension scheme as it is now may not work well, because look, you have a liability of almost 2 trillion naira. For a government that says it is struggling to raise money, it's going to be almost impossible to go back to the defined benefit scheme because it won't be funded. The best thing is to look at some of the reforms that could be taken and
IG
also improve the salary of policemen.
Does the IG
policemen-
have the powers to change some of these things? Because he was in a meeting with these protesters yesterday.
Yes, you know, before I respond to the IG's ability to sort this out, let's hear from Trudy calling from Lagos. Good morning, Trudy. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Olive and Benga and Amaechi in the studio. Yes, I want to react to some issues you raised. On the issue of Dati reconciling Labour Party, I wish him well. I think it's a good move, but it is coming late. If you ask me, where were he all this while? And it is also like the Peter Obi may likely, because what we are getting is like the PDP is likely trying to woo him over to PDP. That can happen. There's no doubt about that. Secondly, on the issue of Natasha and the Senate, just like Amaechi said, sometimes I wonder how judges give their judgment as if they don't understand English language. If you watch all the judgments we have been getting in Nigeria, it's always confusing. But when you go to Kenya, other countries, a judge speaks, gives you what he meant, what he's saying in this matter.
Okay.
All right, Judy. By the way, I
Trudy's been
think the
disconnected.
network is really bad.
It is,
Go ahead.
in conclusion, it's a straightforward thing. There must be upward review of the salary of policemen. Going back to defined benefit scheme that was abandoned since 2004 cannot work. And then, so it is something you were asking whether the
IG has the powers
Yes.
to force this
He's
change.
pledged reforms. Can he do it?
No, it is not the IG. It is the government of the day. Of course, the IG cannot unilaterally fix the salary of policemen.
So was there protest among quarters? Should they have gone to the National Assembly? This retired policeman.
Well, the IG is the Inspector General of Police. So the protest was not wrong. It behoves the IG to not take the complaints of people, policemen, whether serving or retired.
I believe there's a committee in the National Assembly, yes.
But there must be that 300% in the gratuity, which has been tabled. In fact, it was on the table of late President Muhammadu Buhari for more than 6 years. This was taken to that place when his late former Chief of Staff, Abba Kyari, was still alive. So when that is done, it will take, because this agitation is all about, we can't serve for 35 years, and at the end of the month, you are paying us 40,000 naira. In the first place, it does not make any sense.
And even the gratuity is a paltry sum.
In the first place, it does not make any sense. So if they have something they can take home today that can actually take them home, all this agitation for exit will stop. Because exit is not the way to go. If they go for exit, then they will go back to square one, where people will stay for 2-3 years without getting a dime as pension. So it will be like falling from frying pan to fire. So the best thing to do is to do the reforms that are needed.
Thank you, Mr. Ikechukwu Amaechi.
Right,
let's take a call from Osas, reaching us live from the Garden City in Port Harcourt.
Good morning, Aborua. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Amaechi.
Good morning, my brother.
I want to react to Obele's statement, who happens to be the governor of Edo State. Can you all hear me?
Go ahead.
First of all, I think he lacked good advisor. You are threatening a man from a tribe of 5 states. How many states does Edo? How many states have they won? You from one state, you are threatening a man from a tribe of 5 states. How dare you? You are issuing a threat. Even from his statement, you can see how he's suggesting. If you show that it's like somebody wrote that statement or he was put in a corner to rehearse that statement, you can see how he's galloping in making statements. My advice to him, I'm from Ishan-speaking part of Edo State. We are from the same region. Okay? My advice to Obelo, maybe I will use Ishan because they say he doesn't hear good English. Our Obelo, my advice to you is say, resign from that office. Go back to primary school.
So I think he was trying to make his point. The line did cut you off, but I think we got his message.
Just take DSS
Yes,
at work.
He's not happy.
But I like his voice. When you live in a garden city, your voice becomes sonorous. Olive was really feeling that voice in the garden.
Let's get Ikechukwu Amaechi, because our time is fast running. Let's get your take on the Obelo drama. That's what we want to end with. So let's get your take.
Joe, look, it is sad. But again, I think this can only happen in Tinubu's Nigeria. Look, a lot of us, when we come here every day or every week to talk about the descent of Nigeria into the abyss of dictatorship, people think you criticize just for the fun of it. Can you imagine a state governor telling a Nigerian citizen not to step into his state without his permission, otherwise that his security will not be guaranteed? And everybody is moving on. The DSS is not saying, wait a minute, what is going on. I just saw on the social media yesterday that even the chairman of
the APC.
APC,
Jared.
Jared,
Yes.
is amplifying,
Yes.
doubling down on what Obelo said,
Yes.
and said that everybody in Edo State, that they all hate P2B. So, therefore,
himself.
that he is supporting Obelo, so that P2B can, and you call this a country?
Says hate. Such a
Yeah,
powerful word.
he used the word.
Yes.
He used the word.
And you call this a country, and people are not worried that we are in this mess, all in the name of democracy, all in the name of Jagaban politics. For crying out loud, what the hell is going on? Look, and if we are doing this, then imagine what will happen in the so-called 2027 elections. Because all these things are dress rehearsals.
But Mr. Amaechi, he's come out to issue a statement saying, you know, people are exaggerating. And it was just saying it wasn't a threat, it was just asking him to follow security protocols.
I agree that Obelo has very big limitations when it comes to speaking English. But even at that, what he spoke was, even if it was pidgin English, what he did was not subject to ambiguity.
It was clear.
It was clear. So coming out to say that he was how? How? Look, Nigerians must take what is going on today in this country, because if we allow this to go on, the 2027 election, governors will tell you who will come to their state to campaign and who will not come to their state.
It becomes
They
a
almost
culture.
tried it in Bayelsa now when they were saying then that.
To campaign. And it is a very, look, this is a slippery slope.
So the outrage we're witnessing is valid.
In fact, it is even mild. It is even mild. In any other country, people should be out on the streets saying that something must happen to Obelo. Because we can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. You continue pushing people to the wall.
At first, we saw Mama Chukwudi. Mama Chukwudi.
Should not come out.
Don't come out to.
Exactly. And
then it led to people carrying canes and flogging people.
And after that, the SA media to the president, after the governorship election, issued a statement that what happened after the Mama Chukwudi threat is the pointer to what is going to happen in 2027, and that people should not take them for granted. It happened.
Imagine.
And
no arrest, no reprimand, no
And-
disassociation from the federal
And this is the
government
pattern.
with that kind of statement.
This is the pattern that going on. So that you are now making people be vulnerable. One crazy character in a Edo State that could pull a gun and kill the man because of the incitement of a governor, a state governor. No, things cannot continue like this. You don't need to be a friend of Peter Obi to say this is wrong. This is not a democracy
But the
that we
state
fought
government
for.
also they felt a bit slighted because he wrote to the governor of Benue State when he visited. He wrote to the governor of Plateau State, and they said as a politically exposed person, he should understand security protocols and should have also afforded them that level of respect. Yes.
Well, anyway.
If he decides not to do that, he has not contravened. Peter Obi, for crying out loud, is a private citizen. He is not a government official. He represents himself. He is not representing anybody. He did not go to Edo State in an official capacity. So that if he wants to visit a governor, now fine and good. If he does not want, fine and good. He is like Ikechukwu Amaechi. So if I'm going to Edo State now, I first of all seek permission from the governor. But when did Nigeria get to this level?
I'm afraid we're out of time, and I wish we could really go on, but I understand the passion at which you speak.
People should start asking questions. Otherwise, even the 2027 will not come. Will not come because, look, you can't have a country where the governors determine who comes into their state, so that Peter needs a visa from Governor Monday Obelo to go into Edo State. Does it make sense? Which part of the Constitution, a Constitution that guarantees freedom of movement and association, you are circumventing it completely because of partisan politics.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Mr. Ikechukwu Amaechi, publisher at Niche Newspapers. We always appreciate your analysis. And this is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of Breakfast Central. Make sure you join us tomorrow at 7 a.m. sharp. We'll be here in our best outfits to give you a daily dose of your breakfast, yes. Thanks for being a part of the show. I'm Benga Borough. I'll see you tomorrow.
And I'm Joe Hansen. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Oliver Modi. Have a good day.
And this is...
Mr. Ikechukwu Amaechi. Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.